Hey yo, Brother Dave. Brother Dave's Hillbilly Homestead. Alright, it's time to rip off the scab and look at the pus, and y'all can finally say, Brother Dave, have you lost your mind? Well, that could be. Time will tell, but let's take a look at what we got here. You know, I could have built a cabin from a man down the road, would have charged me about $17,000 delivered and leveled, put in place, just a shell, and then add another 14,000 up to 32,000 to outfit it completely. And so I could have had a cabin for 32,000. That doesn't sound bad, but take a look inside here. This first floor of this barn, by the way, it's all solid oak with just amazing workmanship on the beams and whatnot. How it's all put together. This will never ever fall apart unless you completely disuse it, let it all get wet and everything. But it's in great shape. So once this is sealed up, just on the bottom floor, I've got 1,000 square feet. Keep working over a couple more years, add another 1,000 square feet on the top floor, and then add a loft in the top, put some clear plastic sheathing on the top, and I've got a tropical greenhouse on the third floor, and probably a total of about 2,500 square feet. And total that I'll spend on this first floor to get even more square footage than I would have gotten with the built cabin is probably going to be in the range of about $12,000 total. So I'm saving $20,000 overall just by rehabbing this. And now look at all this wood. All this wood needs to be pressure washed. We're going to do that. Pressure wash that, clear coat it with a varnish, and it's going to be all this amazing oak wood that you see when you walk in this place. And I'm going to keep the stalls just as they were and have kind of a semi-open architecture in here, okay, with the roof. I'm not covering that up at all. Okay, I'm going to leave that as is, pressure wash it, clear coat it, make it nice and pretty. This is the foundation I'm laying, and it's just a dry stone cinder block foundation. Come on, focus, yeah. For the wood stove. And right now, as I'm going for a minimal size, because I had just enough cinder block down in Louisiana to transport up here to get a minimum size foundation, where the wood stove is on a stone foundation, touching the ground, and good enough clearance from any combustibles that it won't catch anything on fire. And I will bring in a professional to do the chimney flue here, not just any hack. It's got to be someone who's certified, knows what they're doing, because these old barns, you don't want to mess around with fire and have things go up in smoke, because they will go up quick. Now these outer walls, what I'm going to do is put a strip of wood down each crack on the outside. It'll be kind of a board and batten finish. And look, I've got all this wood over here that I can rip down to use as batten on the outside. Then I'll add a layer, half-inch layer of foam insulation separated by 1/2 inch from the wood, half-inch airspace, so that wood always stays dry, has plenty of ventilation to stay dry. And then I'll cover that with paneling that's separated from the foam by another half. Okay, like I was saying before my SIM card memory ran out on this, I really got to get the GoPro going. I am gonna, over top of the insulation, the foam insulation, I'm gonna put just plain white paneling. It might have a board texture to it maybe, but nothing really fancy. I want the white to be a huge contrast with all the wood and to reflect light, because that wood is going to absorb a lot of light. All right, here we go. You guys can see that I did some cleaning out, and amazing how much damage one possum can do digging a hole in your barn. You can see, you might be able to see in the corner there, it's rotted out. This whole beam down in here I pulled out by hand in pieces. It was a total sponge. It was about a 12-foot wide log, so I'm replacing it with that 4x4. Problems found, problem solved. That's the way this is going, you know. Not getting things done as quickly as I'd hoped, but things are getting done. Problems are getting solved. All right, second floor has been cleaned. little hard to see, but yeah, you can see that pretty well. There it is. That's the second floor cleaned, and that's where we're storing stuff for now. This whole floor will get pressure washed just to clean the dirt, not necessarily to get it looking real good, because we're going to cover the whole thing in 1/2-inch plywood, and I'm hoping that will increase the structural integrity of the whole barn by locking the planks, the beams, and everything into 4 by 8 foot wide blocks. That should help. And then every time somebody sweeps upstairs, we won't get dust dropping through the cracks onto the first floor, which would really suck. And it also seals the first floor up for heating purposes. So, like I said, I'm going to close off that first floor initially for the first winter, probably right there, at that point right there. So we're going to have basically this space here, that much space downstairs as a living space, and that's a lot of space. When you compare that to my tent back here, let's go back and look at the tent. We still have 2 minutes of video time here before it clocks out on us. It says no more time, you're denied. All right, back through the barn. Solved the mud problem here. Filled it in with some gravel. Dug a little drainage ditch all the way out there to get the rainwater to go around the barn instead of under the barn. And this is the hot tent all set up. And this will stay set up. I will not break this down every time I leave and put it up every time I come. It's going to stay here. And we'll put a lock on the tent flaps so it's obvious to somebody that they can't get in. And that's it. I'm about to run out of time. This is the hot tent. I love you. God loves you. Have a good day.